morning and welcome to Pilates Wheel 101. I'm Kimmy and I'm going to be taking you through your DLX beginner class. It's a full body workout, so we'll be kind of focusing on the entire body. And I said on our notes that we have our blue straps attached to the wheel and the extender straps in the anchor, and then the yellow straps with handles are attached to the anchor. So before we get started with this, let's make sure you have the consent of your healthcare provider. And we will come onto our backs to start. And we're going to start with our feet on the bar doing footwork. All right, so let's find the correct position on the mat. Make sure your shoulders are at least lined up with where the extender straps meet the blue straps. And also, big thing, make sure you're centered in between your straps and the wheel. All right, so let's find our spot on the mat and get grounded. So in order to do that, let's have our feet on the foot bar at hip width apart, so directly down from our sit bones on the arches of our feet. And making sure that we're completely centered on there. And so we're slightly isometrically drawing our heels toward our tush, and we're pulling our femur bones into our hip sockets, pressing the tailbone into the mat, so don't roll or tuck the tailbone off. You want to press the tailbone down into the mat to get neutral spine. And then we are drawing the belly button deep into our spine. And so now, a lot of times when I ask my clients to do that, they roll the pelvic bowl thinking that that's how that they can pull their belly button into your spine. It's not. You can still stay in neutral spine and then draw the belly button deep into your spine. So try that. And now hug your rib cage in, wrapping the muscles that are around the rib cage. And now take your fingers and draw them down toward your feet or toward the wheel. And then that way we know that we're drawing the shoulder blades down into our back pockets, and we're pressing the base of the skull into the mat. So we're lengthening the back of the neck, and we're reaching the crown of the head tall. So let's keep all those points on as we take an inhale, and then we're going to exhale, extend the legs long. Draw the kneecaps up, keep reaching the legs long as you're pulling the femur bones back in, and then resist. So don't let the spring of the resistance of the straps take you back. You control it to come back. And press long, and inhale, bend it in. Exhale, extend out long, and bring it back in. So now pushing equally on both feet. You'll really notice a difference if you're not. Your wheel will start wagging or getting out of control. So you really have to focus on both legs doing equal work. Most of us have a dominant side over the other. So the beauty of this and the wheel and Pilates itself is that we get rid of those asymmetries. We work on getting rid of them anyway. And let's go 2 more. And the last one. Bend it back in. And then let's go wide. So now when our feet are wide, our toes are turned open, wider than the heels. And we're going to, so our knees are tracking the toes. And we're extending long, still drawing the kneecaps up, and bend it back in. So we're doing all this just to warm ourselves up. Let's make sure your collarbones are nice and wide as well. All the positions are on point. And last one, bend it back in, and we're going to take everything back to the center. So we're squeezing the inner soles of our feet together, we're squeezing our knees together, spiraling the inner thighs toward each other, and with all that connection of squeezing the legs together, we're digging a little deeper into the abdominal muscles. We're staying in the arches of our feet as we extend the legs long, keeping everything zipped up so we have basically one leg. Inhale on the way in and exhale, take it out. If you find your knees are separating or your ankles are separating or your inner soles of your feet are separating, get them back together. And 3, 2, and last one, bend it back in. Actually, sorry, my bad. We're going to keep them extended out long. And we're going to start leg circles. So we're going to start with our right leg. We're going to lift it up off the foot bar, straight up above the hip. And the left leg is on the foot bar, and we're going to take it out and around in circles. Now when we go around in circles, I don't want the pelvic bowl to move. So you want to press the tailbone heavy into the mat as you take the leg out and around in circles. You may be able to take it wider if you're very flexible in your hips. If not, just go where you can go. Three more in that direction. And last one. Bring it back to the top, and we're going to go in the opposite direction. So as we are rotating in these circles, we're still lengthening the leg out, but we're pulling it back in to the hip socket, so you still feel a ton of hip stability happening here. And last one, leg up and bring it back to the foot bar right in the center. And then let's take our left leg and lift it up, pointing the toe, pulling the femur bone back in, so you're reaching the toe up toward the ceiling as you pull the leg back in toward your hip. And let's start the circles. Three more. And 2. And last one, bring it back to the top, and we're going to reverse that circle. Check in where your shoulders are, check in where your collarbones are, making sure all of those are where we spoke about. And last one, lift all the way up to the top, bring the foot back to the foot bar, and we're going to bend the knees to bring the wheel back in. And let's come on up and sit down while we take our wheel off. And we will put the wheel off to the side, and we are coming down on our backs for some supine arms. So again, let's find the right spot to get enough resistance on your yellow straps. So your yellow straps should have the handles. And let's make sure you're centered. And we are taking our legs up into tabletop. Let's have everything squeezing together. So when we're in tabletop, I want your feet slightly higher than the knees. Squeeze the knees and the inner thighs and the ankles together. Take your hands, extend them straight up above your chest. at shoulder width apart. Take your arm bones and pull them back into your arm sockets. So we fire up the muscle that is underneath the armpit. And now take an exhale as you extend your arms outside your waist, and then inhale, lift back up. So our tailbone is heavy into the mat. We still are in neutral spine here, so we have that tiny little gap under our low back. And 2, and the last one. Take the arms back up to the top, and we're going to start circles. So we're not gripping onto the handles, our fingers are open, so we're not challenging the forearms. We're actually using the muscles under the armpits more, the lat muscles. And so we're reaching the fingers out long as we're pulling the arm bones back in. And 2, and 1, bring it back to the top. We're going to reverse our circle. Seven, 8, 9, and 10. Arms out to the side in a T shape, and press the hands down to the waist, palms facing you. Now check in, are you squeezing the knees together? Are you squeezing the ankles together? Keep all of that on point so that the abdominal connection is a lot deeper. And 2, and 1, keep the arms extended down by the waist, turn the palms toward the ground, and now bend just your elbows in. Elbows are hovering over the mat, and extend the arms long. Seven, 8, 9, and 10. Lift the arms straight up, bring the feet down to the ground, and we're just going to wag the knees back and forth. And now from here, we're taking our legs back up to tabletop. Arms are extended out, up above the chest. Now you're going to tuck your chin to your chest and exhale, curl up. If you can't curl up, leave your head on the ground. I want you curled up so high that just the bottoms of the shoulder blades are on the mat. Now from here, we're going to extend the legs out into a bicycle, reaching the legs long as you bend the opposite one end. Keep reaching your hands toward the feet as you curl up a little bit higher. Look down toward your belly button. And 3, 2, and 1. Bend it back in, arms come up, head comes down. And we'll do one more wag as we have one more supine arm. So now this one is the snow angel. I want the arms hovering, extending them long down toward the ground. Let's start with your legs in tabletop. Now extend your legs out. Now the lower you come to the floor with your legs, the more difficult the move is. Making sure that you're able to work your abs and you're not hurting the back. Extend the arms out wide and legs out wide together. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees back in, arms come up and head comes down if your head is up. So let's do one last wag with the knees in the opposite direction of the arms. And let's drop your straps, put them on the ground, and we're going to come on up and we're grabbing onto one foot loop and we're taking one blue strap off the extender and we're going to put that foot loop on the end, and the blue strap is going to be on the center loop that is on the anchor, or is attached to the anchor. Then we are coming down onto our backs, and our foot, let's do our left foot, is coming in to the foot loop. Straighten that leg all the way up toward the ceiling. Point the toe. Now take your right leg and extend that long. Point the toe, hovering over the mat. Now we're going to take your left leg down toward the mat as we bend our right leg into our chest. But we're not bending it all the way into our chest. We're just taking it right above the hip. And extend. So just on that note, just making sure when our left leg the whole time through this series, it stays long. It does not bend. And 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold the right knee in. So I don't know if I mentioned you have your hands on the anchor. So now that our right knee is bent in, we extend it straight up, point the toe toward the ceiling, bend it back in, and then extend it out long as our left leg comes back up toward the ceiling. Bend, lift that leg straight, bend it back in, extend it out long, hovering over the mat. Keeping the left leg long the entire time. And 3 more. 2. And last one. Keep the right leg long, and we're just going to scissor for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Let's put your right foot to the ground and grab the loop, bring it off your left and put it onto the right. You may need to slide over just slightly to the left, and now we're going to put your right foot in the foot loop. Doing the exact same thing on that side. So our right leg is extended straight up toward the ceiling. Left leg is hovering off the mat, tailbone is grounded. And now as we take a long, straight right leg down toward the mat, we bend our left knee toward our chest. Right up above, have the knee bent right up above the hip. And 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold the knee in
extend the leg up long toward the ceiling, bend it back in, and extend it out toward the mat. Lift, point the toe, bend the knee, and back down. And 5, 6, really lengthen the right leg all the way out. 7, 8, 9, and last one, keep the leg long, and we're going to scissor. 3, 4, 5, really reaching those legs long. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's bring your right foot or left foot to the ground and take your foot out of the foot loop on the right side. Now from here, we're going to keep the strap on the upper anchor. We're coming onto our hands and knees. We're going to reach our, let's go with our right foot into the foot loop on the same strap. From here, so our knees are bent and they're directly under the hips. Hands are holding onto the anchor on your hands and knees. So from here, we're going to take our right leg with the strap on it and lift it up toward the ceiling and bend it back down. More, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep that leg lifted, and we're going to start a circle. And 4, really reaching that leg long, trying to keep the hips really stable. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to reverse that circle. Watch where your shoulders and your head are in this quadruped position, making sure everything is stable and strong. And a big thing here is making sure that you're not shortening the low back. 3, 2, and 1. Now let's bring the foot to the ground. Externally rotate the entire leg from the toes all the way up to the hips out long. And now we're going to lift that leg up toward the ceiling and back down with keeping the external rotation. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's bend the knee back and take the foot loop off that leg or that foot, and we're going to switch it to the other side. So you may need to move your mat slightly to the, well, if you're facing it, to the opposite side. Then we're going to put our left foot in the foot loop, and we're on our hands and knees still, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So from here, our knee is bent in, and now we're going to lift that leg up toward the ceiling. Six, 7, 8, 9, long and we'll start our circles. Five. Remember, we're looking for a lot of hip stability here, so we're not letting the pelvic bowl wag all over the place. 8, 9, 10. Let's reverse that circle. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's keep that leg extended up long. Externally rotate the leg open from the hip all the way down to the toe and lifting with the external rotation all the way up toward the ceiling. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's bring that foot back down to the mat, and we're going to take the foot loop off, and we're going to take the band off the center loop. We're going to reach down and grab onto our yellow straps, come onto the knees, hands are in the handles. So when we're on our knees are directly from our hips, we're tucking our tail under, hug your rib cage, draw the shoulder blades down your back. We're going to take an inhale and then exhale as we press the hands behind us. Open the collarbones, still reaching the fingers down toward the mat. Pause for a second while you're back there, and then bring them forward. Inhale and exhale. Hands come back, and pause, and bring all the way forward. So we're taking an inhale and then exhale, bring the hands back. Take an inhale while you're back there and then exhale, bring it forward. And last time, pause for a second and then bring it forward. Now we're going to bend our knees slightly as we bring the hips up behind us. Take the elbows, lift them higher than your waist, reaching the crown of the head tall, anchoring the tops of the feet into the mat. Take an exhale as you extend the arms out long. And 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's bring the hands all the way to the mat. Take your hands out of the handles and put them down. We're just going to do a little bit of a stretch for the arms. You can take the foot loop off the blue strap that's off to the side, and either sitting crisscross or on your knees. You can do it standing, it doesn't really matter, whatever is most comfortable for you. Grabbing onto the cable, holding onto the blue part, and arms are extended long down by your lap. Reach the arms all the way up and overhead, and you're going to have to open the arms, so that's why we have the bungee, to allow that stretch to happen to get your arms straight back behind your head. And we're going to lift it all the way back up and around. And we're going to go one more time around. And then when we bring it back up top, keep the arms straight up, and we're going to lift up into a lateral flexion. So let's take it down to the left. So we're reaching our right arm up and over as we press our right sit bone back into our heel if you're on your knees.
And then just opening up the whole right side of your body. Draw your belly button in, lift it back up through center. And we're just gonna bring it down to the right, opening up the left side. Press your left sit bone into your heel, opening up, reaching the arm a little further. Draw your belly button in, lift it back up through center, and take it down, and we are all set. So thanks for coming out to watch on Sunday morning, and I will see you next week. Friday will probably work for me. All right, so have a great week, you guys. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and see you soon.